Alrighty, we are back. I am still sick, so I apologize for the way that I sound, but I am doing my best to get through this. I told y'all I'm going to be uploading every day, and I plan to stick to that. What we are going to be talking about today is the top 10 Dokkan Festival exclusive TURs, and this is going to be the last list for 2024. When it comes to year's end, we're going to be doing kind of like a yearly roundup video, and I have a lot of things that I want to say, and thank you guys a lot. So you can look forward to that probably on the 31st, and then tomorrow we will see. But what I want to talk about today is going to be, like I said, the top 10 Dokkan Festival exclusive TURs. Now, one thing that I am trying to make sure that I am not doing in this specific list is putting the Easy A's on this list, because with Easy A's, you sort of run into an issue where they would kind of dominate the list, right? You look at characters like Roshi and Toppo and Physical Rosé, and they probably just don't make it in place of characters like Int Ultimate Gohan and Beerus and some other like the Physical Goten and Trunks, right? They're just going to come up in this list and just take over, right? So that's why I'm trying to avoid doing that, and that's why I just don't have them on the list. So let's go ahead and get started, right? You guys see here the 10 characters that we're going to be selecting from. Let's start at number 10, and that is going to be Physical Rosé. Now, Physical Rosé, where do we start with this guy, right? Physical Rosé had a very interesting lifespan in 2024, obviously being a global first. Global first characters tend to be pretty exciting, and I'd say that Rosé Goku Black definitely fits the bill for a character that's hype enough to be warranted for a global first, right? We look at back in the past of characters like Kaioken Blue Goku, characters like Hig, LRUI Goku, right, etc., with the global first, Tech Broly, right? So Physical Rosé had a spot where it was like super bosses and stuff like that wasn't really fleshed out yet. Like there still needed to be a lot of additions, right? And then Cell Max comes out, and then it's just like, whoa, right? Like this is a real team. And then Jiren comes out, and then the Tech Jiren gets an Easy A, and it's just like, whoa, like this team is crazy now. So Super Bosses just got a bunch of buffs in 2024, and I think that this guy had a bit of a nice little aging period, but towards the end of the year, it did start to taper off a little bit, especially with the worldwide download celebration power creep, where 30 million frame one was starting to feel like a little bit more normal, and that is kind of scary to think about with the 10th anniversary coming up. But that is really where I feel with Rosé. When it comes to Rosé's individual kit, I like the amount of additional attacks that he can do. The domain clash can be a bit frustrating with characters like Texamasu and AGL Super Saiyan Broly, right? Can be a bit annoying, but overall, I still think he is a solid TUR capable of doing a lot of offense, and then having some guard and stuff like that is always nice to have as well. So Physical Rosé is going to be rounding out at my 10 spot. Let's go ahead and move into number 9, which is going to be Dokkan Festival exclusive Physical Toppo. Now, Toppo. The last time I talked about this character, I want to say it was amongst Easy A's. So like, we talk about characters like Tech Gotenks and Int Gotenks as Easy A, the Pride Trooper units like Dispo, and it can end up working out pretty well. But the special pose restriction that is on this character, I think has really kind of limited the capability of him, right? This isn't to say that he's bad or anything like that, but it is to say that he has a bit of an annoying restriction that I think is very frustrating, but defensively can hold it down, offensively can look mildly impressive, right? Especially when you do transform with him, and if you do have the full special pose team sort of around him, I think that you can have this guy looking pretty impressive, because the special pose team, just that category is not as vast as some of the others in the game when it comes to restrictive categories, right? I think that special pose in 2024 was handled well with all of the Gotenks buffs that we received, and especially the one at the very end being the Tech LR Gotenks, who I want to say rounded out in my top 3 for LRs in the game when he came out. So a very good start for him in 2024, or a very good kind of buffs for special pose. Like if you would have, so if I said, hey, what category do you think is going to get a ton of buffs this year, right? Are you going to tell me GT Heroes because Super Saiyan 4 is hype? Are you going to tell me like Power Beyond Super Saiyan because that's a huge category? And then I tell you, nah, Special Pose is going to be getting a lot of buffs in 2024. You're going to be like, okay, the game must be dying then. And no, that's not the case, right? I think a lot of really good Special Pose characters came out to really help this guy out. But Toppo, right, with the abilities that he has after transforming, the guard that he has, the extra damage reduction that he's receiving, I really think that he has a super high ceiling. And also can kind of hold it down, right? You look at him on like a Universe Survival Saga team, I think he could potentially work really well. It's just, it's the damn intro buff, right? It's having those special pose characters around. You really are kind of shoehorned into running his teams a specific way, and I think that's why I can't put him any higher than 9. So number 9, I have our boy Toppo. Let's move on to number 8. Now at number 8, I have Dokkan Fest Roshi. Now with Roshi, I think that you guys know at this point how he kind of operates. the support that he is giving, the ability to kind of help out Turtle School and stuff like that, and being a Peppy Gal's leader or whatever. Very nice little setup here, and I like the way that he makes some of the best characters in the game look better. We've talked about categories like Turtle School and how all like these Gokus are on them and stuff like that. You know who's on Turtle School? This guy right here. This guy right here, right? Yeah, y'all can see my cursor, right? Yeah, these two. So with that, they're helping them look a lot better, and I think that that is extremely important. And with that support, it's just like Tech UI Goku, AGL UI Goku is going to look better. All Gokus in the future, like if we get some type of like Super Saiyan Goku from Namek for the anniversary for some reason, right? Then he's going to be on Turtle School, and Roshi is going to be helping him, right? He's going to be providing that support, right? If there's like a Krillin that comes out with that Super Saiyan Goku, then potentially he would be on Turtle School. And if he has like 10th anniversary power creep for the banner unit, then who knows, right? That we could be talking about him amongst this list, like with how good he is. He wouldn't be a Dokkan Festival exclusive TUR, but he could be on that level of power, right? We do have 1%, not 1%, but general pool units that do fit into like, that are better than Dokkan Festival exclusive TURs, right? They definitely exist. So Roshi at 8, I really like the support that he is providing. I think offensively, he holds it down pretty well. Defensively, I'd say he's above average, right? Can really kind of do your thing, but you are a little bit restricted in the way that you want to run him. But again, floating this guy and giving support for some of the best Goku units in the game is an extremely valuable role, and I'm not going to take points away from him for that. So at number 8, I have Roshi. Let's move on to number 7, and that is going to be Tech Vegeta. Now, Tech Vegeta, you guys know how I feel about Tech Vegeta at this point. Decent base form, really impressive Super Saiyan form, can really kind of hold it down for you in a lot of different ways for the team. So this is a very impressive unit that I think has really kind of stood the test of time, and being a Super Saiyan's leader is a lot of bonus points as well for those of you who did not pull the Super Saiyan trio during the Worldwide Download Celebration. This character can kind of hold that down and go into that spot for being like a Super Saiyan's team, right? You are going to lose access to some of like the Power of Wishes characters and stuff like that, but being able to run a Super Saiyan's team I think is extremely valuable. Or hell, you could even run this guy on a trio-led team for Super Saiyans, right? Like it still works out just fine. So I think that this guy, this is one of those cases where once you transform with him, he's really looking impressive. All the supers he's doing, the way he builds up defensively, he's always going to have like a baseline of the damage reduction and stuff like that. So he is extremely consistent in what he is trying to do, and I think that that really does deserve some props, right? So Tech Vegeta, very good. I think that like I said, if you want to argue like Roshi above him, you want to do something like this, I don't really have any issues with that. Really like 5 to 10 is really tough. Then once we get to sort of like 4 to 1, I feel like it's a little bit more clear. So number 7, I have Vegeta. Let's move on to number 6. Now, number 6 is a bit tricky, but I'm going to be going with Slug. I think that Slug is doing a lot with the demonic power team, right? Glorio has sort of thrown a little bit of a wrench in this. But what Slug brings to the table with the support that he's potentially providing, the damage reduction that he has, this is an extremely consistent TUR here, and you're going to be able to run him on demonic power, and he's going to transition in just fine, right? His intro buffs and extra category restrictive buffs are so easy to get because the demonic power team is so damn good, right? Demonic power, who's on demonic power on this tier list, right? This guy is on demonic power, Lord Slug. I don't know why I can't talk. I'm sick, all right? Tech Buuhan, he's on demonic power. We have Glorio, who's on demonic power, and Buu, who's on demonic power. So right there, 4 of 10 on this list, 40% of the top 10 TURs in the game are on demonic power. So you can run all of these guys on the same team, and it's going to work fine, right? If you have Glorio as a lead, you are gaming, right? This is an extremely well-designed character with Lord Slug, and he's going to potentially be helping out the category as well. So Lord Slug, I have at number 6. Defensively, very consistent character. The damage reduction that he's getting, all the buffs that he's getting from his intro buff, and making sure that you have demonic power category characters around. Very easy to sort of make this guy work in a meta, or not a meta, but like a landscape right now for the game where things are definitely damage reduction heavy, right? We think about fights like Janemba, we think about fights like Goku and Frieza, the Gogeta fight. Slug could easily be ran in all 3 of those, so that is like kind of a benchmark, right? Can you be ran in there? I don't think the same could be said for this Rosé down here. He is going to need to be heavily protected, right? But Slug easily. So at number 6, I have our boy, Lord Slug. Let's move on to number 5. And at number 5, I have Int Fat Buu. Now, if you want to do this, I think that's completely fine. But for the sake of things, I'm going to be doing this. I think that Fat Buu is just, in events where you can use him properly and build him up the way that you need to, this guy is just such a stonewall that is, it's a match made in heaven, right? what does this guy bring to the table, right? That is so valuable. He has defensive stacking on super attack and stuff like that, so already a plus, so you're going to be able to build him up. He has the ability to guard, which defensively is very helpful, as you guys know. He has the Ghost Usher mechanic, which is, again, one of the most valuable active skill effects that you can have, right? The tech androids, literally, like, you could, like, always honorable mention them, like, until the end of time with the way that the game is working right now. Because of that Ghost Usher ability, right? With that Ghost Usher active skill, you're just being able to take away one turn of attacks right away, or on turn 2, or even turn 3 if you have the HP for it. You can't understate how important that is, and Fat Buu is just a better version of that if you consider the longevity of the fight, right? Being able to get a Ghost Usher 8 turns in is extremely valuable against any boss in the game right now, the way that they are hitting, right? Normals are hitting for crazy amounts of damage. Super attacks are taking you almost every time from 100% HP to 0 HP. So being able to take those away, being able to take away their ability to heal, being able to take away the ability to AoE, right? All of these different things are going to be combined into one sort of mess, and being able to take them away is just extremely valuable. So the defensive ability, and I didn't even mention, if you get caught by a super that takes you from 100% HP to 0% HP, you revive. So Int Fat Buu, holding it down, an amazing character, works really well on almost any team you want to run him on. I think top 5 is a worthy spot for him, but if you do want to move him down to 6 or 7 or something like that, I have no issue with it whatsoever. So let's go ahead and get into the top 4. Now the top 4 is a bit tricky. This is the lowest I've ever placed this character on a tier list that I have done in the recent memory, but Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku is coming in at number 4. If you want to move this guy up to number 3 or number 2, I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think that works out just fine. And on any given day, I would argue that he is at number 4, number 3, all right, number 2 and number 3, right? Number 1 right now, I feel like we're all on the same page, right? Like, it's pretty consistent who number 1 is, so I'm not gonna, harp on that too much, but Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, in short burst fights, this guy is as good as it gets. 90% damage reduction is invaluable in terms of like how the game is played right now. Damage reduction that goes down, the additional guard on top of that, you can put him in slot 2 or slot 3 and get that additional attack buff if you want some damage. The ability to just crit, the counters for supers, right? He's doing a lot, and this character, he's aging very well, right? At number 4, I think this is a great spot for him right now because he does not have access to some of the things that the other 3 characters do that we're about to talk about, right? So that's why I have him down here. But Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, this guy was basically number 1 for all of 2024. So it's fitting that we reach the end of the year and he starts to move down a little bit. But Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, I love in like the Gogeta and Janemba fights. In Goku and Frieza, it's a little bit tricky, but you can get away with it. But with like the damage reduction stuff that he gets on supers, if you put him in slot 2 or slot 3, he should be able to hold it down for you because the super is basically in slot 1 every single time. So it's either they super in slot 1 or they don't super at all. Like, that's basically how it works. So Goku and Frieza, where you could get a little bit caught with this character, so a potential situation that would be really good for this unit is like if they're in slot 7 and then you get to the 17 phase on turn 3 and then he gets locked in slot 1 but still has his damage reduction. Not too hard to deal with that, right? So that's why it's a good little like thing to have, and the restriction that he has is not too bad with the Majin Buu Saga category being as good as it is in 2024 here. That's why I have this guy number 4 though. Let's move on to number 3, and at number 3 I have Buuhan. Now Buuhan, very big fan of this character, and why is he above Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you might be asking? It is the presence of Glorio. With Glorio, demonic power characters just get way better, right? Like, they feel like new units. And pairing this Buuhan with somebody with big bad bosses for slot 2 or something like that, running his domain and getting those big buffs and support for everybody, running real easy, right? Offensively, defensively, this guy's doing a lot. So that's why I have him up here. And then Glorio, again, just kind of gives him like a facelift that makes him look like a whole new character. So I have to give points for that. And right now, I just think with the way that the game is shifting and the way that the game is being played, I think that Buuhan is just a little bit better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But if you want to argue the other way around, I have zero problem with that. And honestly, like I said, on any given day, I could argue for or against it. So at Buuhan, I think, again, just running him alongside a character like a Kid Buu or something like that really works out well for you, just because the way the big bad bosses works, you guys know that link is one of the most, if not the most important link in the game, right? For offense, defense, all that fun stuff. Just makes characters run at a whole different level. So When you compare that guy up with like physical LR Buu tanks and he transforms into Buuhan, you run him next to a Kid Buu, just a character with big bad bosses, you're going to be seeing a noticeable difference. So, I mean, hell, even like a character like Slug, right? Like you could run that rotation and it would work fine because you have support coming from Slug, you have support coming overall from Glorio, and he's just going to be looking a lot better than you usually would be seeing Buuhan look. So that's why I have him at number 3 right now. But again, if you wanted to argue him at number 4, I'd have no problems with that. So let's go ahead and do the last 2 here together, and that is going to be the package of Goku and Glorio. Now, Glorio, I'll talk about him in a minute, but Goku, I think, is just doing a lot. I think turn 1, he can look a little bit unimpressive, but once that buildup gets there and you can kind of put him in slot 2 for a bit and he gets built up, it's like, whoa, is this guy doing a lot? Like, he is just very impressive. A lot of dodge ability, a lot of offense, decent bit of defense, right? This character is just doing a whole lot, and that's why I have him up here. Let's talk about Goku a little bit more here, just so I can give you an idea for why I have him so high. Alrighty, so we are over here now with Goku. This is the only kit that I need to pull up here just for you guys to understand. Damage reduction baseline, very good start. A lot of dodge ability, right? Extra attacks, extra chance to evade in different slots, right? A lot of different things going up. Defense at 200% when you receive an attack. So if that first attack is a normal, then you are good to go. And then when we keep dodging and receiving attacks, we're getting more attack up to 200%. And then we have such easy access to attack effective against all types, right? Typically, this is going to take 2 or 3 appearances, and then you're just effective against all types for the rest of the fight, right? We're also giving 41% attack support when we are doing our super, getting attack and defense raising for 3 turns. There's just a lot that this character is doing, and I don't think that you can like take points away from him. He is just going to be extremely, extremely, extremely impressive once you just kind of build up a little bit, right? Super high attack stats that are effective against all types are extremely valuable because they just do a lot of work for you, and it's just a super good way to sort of round out a character. So number 2, I have Goku, again, doing a lot of good things: support, damage reduction, dodging, just a very nice combination for a character, and being effective against all types after dodging those amount of attacks or a certain amount of turns elapsing is very good for your offensive capabilities as well. So number 1, you guys knew this was coming. Glorio is number 1. Like, what do we need to talk about, right? This guy, it's like, we literally reached a point where it's like, with Glorio, it's like, is he just like, I think it was Truth that said it, and I don't really think there's a ton of validity to it, and because, like, I don't even think he means it. Just like, is Glorio, it's just like, hell, is Glorio just the best character in the game? And when you say a statement like that, like, if you are putting that in there, you're probably just like a tier above TURs right now. And that's probably just how I feel about this guy. It's super easy to build him up. That super attack of attack plus 9% and defense plus 6%, just continuing to go up and up and up and up and up is just insane, right? We have dodge chance in here. We have additional attacks with a lot of supers coming in, just super high damage, right? Giving, lowering enemy attack and defense is crazy, right? Greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn, doing all these different things. Giving, you know, the potential support with all allies, a 50% support, right? With the ability to dodge, with the attack and defense plus 200% at the baseline of the turn, right? Then we have more additional chances to dodge and getting extra 30% attack, right? And every time you are doing that, with each super attack, you're going up, right? And then when you get an additional super attack, every time this character performs a super attack 3 or more times, right? You're just going to be looking at turns where you're doing triple, quadruple supers, and the damage is going to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And so with that, like, this character, you put him in slot 2 and he is just gaming, right? And demonic power definitely has access to slot 1 characters. Accelerated battle has access to slot 1 characters. Like, this is not going to be an issue. Like, accelerated battle, this one a little bit more, right? Like, there's a little bit of trouble, right? I think that this guy, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, potentially is a slot 1 character for you. Tech UI Goku is a good slot 1. AGL UI Goku is a decent slot, well, or is a very, very good slot 1, excuse me. And there's just some options here, and you kind of mix and match that with the demonic power, and you just have slot 1 options for Glorio to be able to go into that slot 2 spot and hold it down for you. But overall, he's easily the best TUR in the game. The way he is giving a facelift to demonic power characters and keeping them up here, I think is just really important. So there you guys have it, my top 10 TUR, the final TUR tier list for 2024. Number 1, we have Glorio. Number 2, we have Goku. At number 3, I have Tech Buuhan. At number 4, I have Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. At number 5, I have Int Fat Buu. At number 6, I have STR Slug. At number 7, I have Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta. At number 8, I have Master Roshi. At number 9, I have Physical Toppo. And at number 10, I have Physical Rosé Goku Black. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry for my voice again. I don't know, maybe some of you prefer how it sounds, but I definitely definitely do not. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you were new, and I'll see you all in the next one.